Community concerned and a killer still on the loose tonight.
Meanwhile, police are searching for the gunman in Monday night's drive-by shooting while a family prepares to bury an innocent toddler.
Through tears and with broken hearts, that toddler's family is speaking exclusively to News Channel 3 tonight. Curious and smart.
Sick.
Sweet and silly. Kai Turner's family will remember the 2-year-old for the way he lived, not the way he died.
Think of those precious 2 years and 4 months and 28 moons.
Now an angel among the moon and the stars, Kai's life cut short by a gun placed in the wrong hands, fired at the wrong target.
You don't hope for it, you don't wish for it, and I don't want this to be true.
His favorite toy trains and a corner filled with his favorite books serve as a memorial of a little boy with a big smile who left an even bigger impact.
I want to feel like his short time here and the nature of everything, that in some way he's was sent to be a part of making the world a better place.
As for the person who turned Kai's family's world upside down, even through their tremendous grief, somehow there's compassion.
I don't believe that the person who held the gun had the intention of taking my grandson's life. And I feel bad for that person if they know, because human beings can't know those things and live with those things without a deep suffering. They once too were an innocent child, and so I grieve for them.
The latest clue in this investigation, Battle Creek police have located the stolen SUV they say was used in the drive-by shooting. Other than that, we're waiting on any new developments, and police are waiting to hear from you. If you have any information that may help to bring Kai's killer to justice, you're asked to call BCPD or Silent Observer. Kai's funeral is on Saturday.
A 22-year-old is shot and killed by an Allegan County deputy, and tonight we know that that deputy will not face criminal charges. The prosecution saying his actions that night in June were indeed justified.
And new at 11 tonight, the attorney representing Joseph Nagel's family is announcing new plans to get justice for Joey.
The Allegan County prosecutor has made their determination not to charge the deputy sheriff who shot and killed Joey Nagel.
Not happy with the prosecutor's decision to not charge the deputy who shot and killed Joey Nagel, the attorney representing Nagel's family is now calling on Michigan's AG to step in.
We will get justice for Joey Nagel.
The prosecutor's determination that the shooting was justified is based on the MSP investigation into what happened in the 10 minutes after the 22-year-old was pulled over in Hopkins on suspicion of driving while intoxicated and before he was fatally shot.
It's just a very heart-wrenching investigation for the family.
Robert Womack also speaking on behalf of the family at Monday's press conference. The Kent County Commissioner has been visible and vocal in his support for the Nagel family and the family of Patrick Leoya, another man shot and killed by police.
It's textbook 101 that whenever someone is shot by law enforcement, that departments will do an investigation that villainizes the victim.
The investigative documents show the deputy's story that Nagel punched and headbutted him 15 to 20 times before he fired his weapon is consistent with his injuries and Nagel's. They also go into detail about Nagel's behavior in the days and weeks before he was killed.
Neither background on the officer or Joey Nagel really matters. What matters is what happened in that 10 minutes.
And because there is no body or dash cam video of those crucial moments, the family, especially Nagel's mom, says the continued pursuit for justice is justified.
She doesn't want what happened to Joey Nagel to happen to any other person's child ever.
Now, records show Nagel did have drugs in his system at the time of his death. They also show he was not armed. Because of their request for the AG's office to review the case, the family attorney refused to comment any further or answer any other questions.
He's shooting, he's shooting.
A dash cam video reveals a wild and very dangerous ride through several West Michigan counties today. And now the man that authorities were chasing, who was going over 100 miles an hour through 5 counties while firing stolen weapons, is in jail, facing a charge of attempted murder.
And it's video you'll only see on 3 tonight.
Show me your hands! Do it now!
Sirens blaring and guns drawn. Nearly an hour after running from deputies in Branch, Jackson, Ingham, Calhoun, and Eaton counties, the man you see walking across your screen, flanked by deputies, is arrested. Tonight, the Calhoun County Sheriff identifying him as Alan Golematis. Golematis first getting the attention of law enforcement in Branch County, leading deputies there on a chase before allegedly opening fire on officers.
He's shooting, he's shooting.
Shots fired again, this time in Albion. Body cam footage showing officers following their suspect through a residential area while they say he's pulling the trigger.
Dispatch, he has fired 3 rounds, it sounds like.
The chase going on for at least 60 minutes before stop sticks shred his tires. Driving on nothing but his rims, the chase continues for almost another 10 minutes, finally coming to an end at 5 Point Highway in Eaton County.
Vehicle's clear, all the firearms are in there.
The deputy in the video referencing 3 guns, at least one a shotgun with a sawed-off barrel. All of them, according to officials, Golematis later admitted to stealing. Now, deputies say at one point during the chase, Golematis called Calhoun County 911 and threatened to shoot at random drivers. Thankfully, no one was hurt. In 1941, Joe Nightingale, a 20-year-old from Kalamazoo, was killed in action when Pearl Harbor came under attack. For years, his remains, like hundreds of others killed that day, were unaccounted for. Until now. Tonight, the late sailor's family is giving News Channel 3 an exclusive look at the process to finally bring Joe home.
Joe and I were pretty close when I was growing up.
Charles Nightingale was just a kid the last time his brother Joe was home.
That might have been one of the last photos they had together.
In 1940, his older brother enlisted in the Navy, reporting for duty on the USS Oklahoma.
I remember him very distinctly. He was very precious to me.
On December 7th, 1941, Seaman First Class Joe Nightingale was one of the 429 sailors and Marines on the Oklahoma killed in the attack on Pearl Harbor.
Hi, so good to meet you.
Nice to have you with us.
Nearly 80 years later, Charles and his family are getting a precious opportunity they never imagined possible. Since 2015, the U.S. Navy and Department of Defense have been working to identify the remains of crew members killed on that day, which will live in infamy.
At the time, no one ever thought we would come this far with science and DNA.
To date, the remains of 355 men who served and died on the USS Oklahoma have been identified.
Luckily, we do have this handsome guy right here,
including Joe's.
We've been waiting a long time for this.
Using a DNA sample from his brother, Joe's remains were recovered from a mass grave in Hawaii.
These are dental remains.
His remains, including a portion of his skull and shin bones, will now be brought home to Michigan. Memories of Joe now include remarkable illustrations representing his service, enlistment papers, medical records, even the telegram dated February 17th, 1942.
And he was therefore declared to have lost his life in the service of his country.
Informing family of his passing 73 days after the attack. Joe was 20.
I would have been in Korea if Joe hadn't died. But because he died, I was the only one to carry on the name.
Though physically, this Nightingale may have been gone for decades, his name, sacrifice, and legacy will never be forgotten.
It kind of brings an end to everything, closing to everything.
We thank Joe and his family for their service. Right now, Joe Nightingale's remains are at an Air Force base in Nebraska. Soon, they will be escorted to Michigan, where on December 7th, exactly 80 years after his death, Joe will be laid to rest at home in Kalamazoo County. Of course, we are saluting all veterans today. Share memories of your loved ones with us on our Chime In page. Just head to our website, wwmt.com, and click on the Chime In tab to upload your photos. Yeah, for days we have been working to get those answers on behalf of taxpayers who pay the superintendent's salary. Our first inquiry to a KPS spokesperson regarding the whereabouts of Dr. Rita Chowdhury got a vague response, telling us she's on vacation but working virtually out of the country. So we kept pushing. A simple question sent to News Channel 3. Where is KPS Superintendent Dr. Rita? On social media, some saying they suspect Chowdhury is on a 7-week vacation, but working remotely. Some parents saying attempts to reach her by phone and email have been unsuccessful. Instead, receiving this automatic reply, directing people to contact her secretary. Teachers also have questions. A source closely connected to KPS teachers telling us many are frustrated and asking for transparency from their boss. Chowdhury is now well into her 3-year publicly reported 6-figure contract with the public school district. She was reluctant to answer our questions as well, but says she made her team aware of her absence and that other school leaders could handle day-to-day issues. The district's chief executive denied being gone for 7 weeks, instead saying she left during Thanksgiving break with plans to return before the end of winter break, January 3rd. She also wouldn't confirm where she traveled to, saying her personal life is no one's business. With several recent incidents of violence and threats of violence within the school district following the deadly Oxford High School shooting, the timing isn't sitting well with some parents who tell us it is their business. Chowdhury continues to defend her time off, saying she is using her contractually earned vacation days in conjunction with scheduled district-wide breaks. She adds she has been in communication with the school community when necessary, like this recent post on the district's website. We've repeatedly asked Chowdhury for a Zoom interview or an official statement. She has declined both requests. Chowdhury said via email that, quote, "The board employs me, not the community. They are entitled to know the details of my time off, not anyone else." We have also reached out to the board president and vice president regarding the absence. As with all communications, we were referred to the district's communications director, who is also on vacation. It's the season opener for the Gold team in South Haven. 1, 2, 3. Help Nation! But the game almost didn't happen.
We didn't really know if we were going to be able to have this season for baseball.
Less than 2 weeks before their big Little League debut, their coach stepped down.
Good, way to keep it in front.
Refusing to let their boys miss out.
Put them too high.
A group of moms.
2 out, we're running hard. They know that we're going to be there no matter what for them. We got this, all right? 1 more out.
Stepped up to the plate.
I was kind of hoping she would be coach because she taught me basically everything I know about baseball.
Yeah, yeah, yeah!
Now 5 women deep in the dugout. This coaching staff would likely argue they're not quite angels in the outfield.
Go, go, dig, dig!
But to these 11 and 12-year-olds,
we're going! Hard, hard, hard! They're all really good coaches.
They're pretty darn close.
I'd say the thing she's best at is probably encouraging us as a team and bringing us together.
There you go! Nice job!
Of course, they're not the first women to ever teach boys about baseball.
I want them to have fun.
And they certainly won't be the last.
And if they get a little bit better by the end of the year, then I've done my job. Go, 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 hard!
Regardless of stats or scores, their efforts have already earned them a spot in a very special Hall of Fame. Just ask their sons.
She's probably the best coach and the best mom I could have.
Reporting in South Haven, Erica.Mokay,
3, 1, 2, 3, team!
News Channel 3.